Welcome to Box 9 of the Strawberry Hill Farm Veggie Box season. This is a really special time of year for the veggie boxes because of all the awesome things like sweet corn, cucumbers, melons, all these summer favorites. So, for what's coming this week, we have the Walla Walla sweet onion again, we have carrots, we have awesome organic sweet corn, we've checked the tips because we know how much you all just love finding a worm in the tip. If there are any issues, we've cut the tip out. Unfortunately, we only have one good planting of sweet corn. With the variable cold weather this spring, our second planting didn't take. So I expect to have sweet corn for 2 weeks, maybe a third, but you may only get it twice, so hope you enjoy it. We have cucumbers. We have melons. So this box happens to have a yellow-fleshed watermelon, but it could be cantaloupe, honeydew, or other watermelons. So make sure you hang tight to after the box preview because I'm going to show you more about the melons and give you a bit of a primer on the types we grow. There's lettuce and yellow and purple beans. You may also get a few green, but there's not too many green this week. We have celery. Now, my daughter used to say that she loved celery because she didn't have to count the calories. And I said to her, well, if you don't have to count the calories, then that must mean it's not a food. As you can tell, I'm not a real celery fan. However, enough people like it that we do grow it. We'll probably only come a couple of times during this season. It'll store 2-3 weeks easy in the fridge as long as it's in the crisper or in a bag. Our peppers are just starting to turn color, but we also have some really nice big green ones. Tomatoes are coming in well, and we have green and or yellow zucchini. So that's a wrap for the box this week. Okay, now for a little bit on the melons. Melons are something that I enjoy. I think I grew my first crop when I was 16 and gardening with my parents. And the name of the variety, if I'm not mistaken, was called You Sweet Thing. It was a red watermelon. I again started growing watermelons commercially in 2010 after listening to a farmer in Maine talk about how they grow theirs. So now we grow a whole variety. We grow yellow watermelon, orange watermelon, red seedless, Asian melons, honeydew of different colors, and cantaloupe. And they really are very delicious and very tasty. But I'm surprised how many New Brunswickers I talk to and say, hey, you want to try a melon? And they say, I'm not really into melons all that much. Whereas people from down south are, yes, I love a piece. Oh, they're delicious. And I've puzzled about that until I realized that, what you get in the grocery store really doesn't compare. It was picked half ripe in order to withstand a journey halfway across the continent. So by the time you eat it, no, it doesn't taste that good, and I can see why people aren't really into them. But these are entirely different. These are grown here, picked at optimum sweetness, right off the vine. These are really something special. Now for a little bit on the different types of melons. The earliest melon that we can grow here is called Sun Jewel. And I had some people from Korea come by the market last week and were just excited that they could get a melon like from their home country. So this is an Asian melon. I like to call it a cucumber melon, but it's yellow with white stripes. It's crisp and sort of like a pear, but not quite as grainy. So this is the first melon that's ready. And then that's followed by cantaloupe. And we usually pick the cantaloupe when it's ripe right on the vine. Like you can't store it in the fridge real long, but it's going to be soft and really, really juicy. And then the honeydews come in, and about the same time the honeydews come in, we get the yellow watermelon. So the yellow watermelon is the earliest of the watermelons. It comes about a week before the red. And the orange is handy to the yellow. My favorite melon is the yellow in terms of its sweetness. There's a center that you can eat, and then there's a strip that's thick with seeds, and then there's a big outer section that you can eat as well. Then there's the orange, similar, and the red. Now, the first red watermelon have seeds, and then finally the seedless red watermelon would come maybe 3 weeks later at the end of the end of our season. Now for the honeydews that are yellow outside, orange inside, you would think it was a cantaloupe until you cut into it, and it's crisp. It doesn't. It's not soft like a cantaloupe. And we have a variety called snow leopard, which is white with green lines and spots, as in snow leopard. Probably one of the sweetest honeydews, and typically a little smaller, considered more of a personal size melon. Then there's the white outside and orange or white inside. All of these honeydew types are very sweet, delicious melons. Probably my favorite way to eat all the melons is to put them in a fruit cup and enjoy them that way. Or for the cantaloupe, if you don't like to eat it like the slice, consider turning it into smoothies. It's delicious that way as well.